is not being recognized. Is not being recognized because they are still calling. They are still calling for parties, especially the SPLM-IG and the SPLM-IO. The joint statement from the Tricast states are still calling for the two parties to come out and continue to negotiate and go back to the table and dialogue and make South Sudan to be great. So that means that the trial that is going on in Juba is not being recognized. So to us South Sudanese, that is a time wasting. It is the SPLM IG that is wasting not only your time, my time, but the progress of the Republic of South Sudan. So this is what is happening and this is what is going on, and we should be very, very careful because South Sudan doesn't belong to anybody. South Sudan belongs to the citizen of South Sudan, and there's nobody that is allowed to come and destroy South Sudan. As South Sudanese, we sit down, fold our hands and watch. This is not what is supposed to be done. We should not sit down and fold our hands because nobody will come and build South Sudan. South Sudan is for me and you, is our birthright. And South Sudan, now everybody is saying if you are looking for nepotism, go to South Sudan. So if you don't know, the nickname of South Sudan now have become nepotism because the nepotism have become the national identity of South Sudan. If you don't know, then South Sudan is the country in the whole world that nepotism have become the identity of the country. So let me read the joint statement from the Tricast states, and then from there I will continue addressing, because from today we don't have something called Parliament of South Sudan, because where is the parliament? What is the work of the parliaments? What are they doing? So they should not waste our time. They should not waste that office by going and sitting in those chairs because they don't know their job. We don't have parliament. We don't have MPs because they are doing nothing. So let me read my statement. The text of the following state was released by the governments of the United States of America, the United Kingdom, and the Norway. These are partners of peace. They are partners, they are people who supported the revitalized peace agreement that is now being destroyed by the SPLM-IG. When the revitalized agreement for the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan, R-Access, was signed just over 7 years ago, it was hoped that it will bring peace after country's initial years of independence was scared by conflict, including brutal violence against civilians. Despite the support of the international community, the optimism of relief that followed the R-Access was undeserved. Under the terms of the R-Access, President Kiir should be leading a transitional government of national unity. It does not live up to the name, with the principle of power sharing violated and no meaningful progress toward implementing the agreement. Public resources continue to be misused. Public servant salaries are going unpaid, and international donors are spending significantly more on delivering basic services to the people of South Sudan than the transitional government itself. At independence, South Sudan oil revenue made it a middle income country. It is now the world poorest. South Sudan is now the world poorest, and it is most corrupt. Mark those words. It is the most, now the world poorest, and it's the most corrupt. The leadership is continuing with destabilizing unilateral reshuffling rather than focusing on governing the country or preparing for election, which they were telling us before that they want to do election without census and without a constitution. They should be preparing for it, not talking about having election, but preparing for the election. Most seriously, we have seen a return to widespread conflict across the country. It will be tragic for the people of South Sudan if we see a return to the levels of violence of 2013 and 2016. It will also represent a serious setback for South Sudan neighbors already suffering the destabilizing influence of the conflict in Sudan. For the good of the people of South Sudan and for the sake of the regional stability, South Sudan leaders must urgently reverse course. All parties, especially the SPLM-IO, the SPLM-IG, must stop armed attacks and immediately return to the nationwide ceasefire and to sustain leaders-level dialogue. The transitional government must end its aerial attacks against its own citizens, release political prisoners, use public revenue to pay public sector employees, and fund health, education, and other essential services for its citizens. Transitional government officials at all levels must also cease interfering in the operations of the humanitarian assistance providers and regional international organizations. The transitional government obstruction of departure as well as in-country movement of UN peacekeepers is a prime example of this behavior and must stop immediately. All South Sudan friends and partners, and especially those neighboring South Sudan who have the most to lose from the prospect of the renewed large-scale conflict, should be united in their messaging. The enough is enough. South Sudan leaders must stop the current conflict and focus on restoring the trust of its people and the international community through concrete action. If they do so, they will attract the world's support, investment, and respect. Okay, let me now come here. You have heard the statement from who? From the Troika's country. These Troika's countries are the people who have been supporting the peace. From supporting the peace. Number one. They have been the one who have been fighting so hard for South Sudanese citizens, especially in the humanitarian sector, to have food, to have medicine, to have education. When you look at the side of education, it's UNICEF that is struggling with it, with other partners. When you look at the side of the food security, you have UNFAO. You can mention them. The South Sudan citizens have been taken over by the humanitarian sector. These are the people that care. Where do this money come from? The money comes from the Troika's countries, the international, those people who are supporting South Sudan. Now, one thing they said here is they don't talk about the trial that is going on in Juba, because the trial that is going on in Juba, it's not being recognized by anybody. Nobody recognized that trials. That trials, he's being there as a way of the SPLM IG trying to push, trying to destroy the country, trying to waste more time and doing what they know doing best. Why am I coming out and discussing this thing? One, the government, which is the SPLM-IG party, destroying the country. One thing that they have done is they have turned South Sudan to become the nepotism have become the national identity of South Sudan. And we have confirmed, all of us, the international community, the whole world, the South Sudanese citizens themselves, the 64 tribes, the 63 tribes, the greater Barghazal, the greater Equatoria, and the greater Upper Nile. You can mention them. We have all confirmed that the SPLM-IG have turned South Sudan to become the national identity. The nepotism have become the national identity of South Sudan. In the whole world, if you are looking for a country that is, the identity is nepotism, go to South Sudan. And that is the work that Salva Kiir have done for all these 20 years that he have been in leadership. He have turned South Sudan to become a nepotism country whereby he is appointing only the Dinka community, only the Dinka tribes, and the 63 tribes are being left out. Now that South Sudan have been turned to nepotism, then that means we don't have something called parliament. What is the work of parliament? Because these people that are being appointed should be bet in the parliament. They should be bet in the parliament, confirmed. But now, I don't think if there's anybody who's talking, there's no MPs who are saying anything, there's no parliament itself. The parliament that is there is a building. Because there's no job, there's no work. They don't talk about the problems that the citizens are going through. They don't represent the citizen anymore. They don't even bet the decisions. They don't follow what is happening in the country. So today, I am calling for the closure of for this parliament. I am calling today for the parliament of South Sudan to be closed down. And we should not talk of we have a parliament. We have accepted that we have a country of one tribe, a country of one community, which is the community where Salva Kiir comes from, that they have turned the country to become a nepotism country. We have seen, everybody have accepted, and we are ready to go with that, because this is what I'm seeing. Everybody is okay with it. All the tribes are okay with it. You are ready to suffer. So that means we have all accepted that the country is officially declared the only country in the world where nepotism have become the identity of the country. Second, this issue of everyday appointment, decrees, removal, all this drama, they have made the people of South Sudan to become crazy about these things. Everybody's just looking into this. They give you fame for 1 minute. You are being appointed today. You are the governor of this place. You are being brought for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then after that you are released again. This joke can only continue in a country whereby we don't have parliaments, we don't have ambassadors, and we don't have parties, other parties, because we are supposed to be having different other parties. Where are these other parties? We used to have SOA before, we used to have OTPP, we have to use, I don't know, what. Where are these other parties? Why have you other parties, the opposition's parties, accept to make SPLM-IG destroy the country? Because the problem we are having as South Sudanese, if we don't know, the problem we are having is the SPLM party. This is what is destroying South Sudan. Who said that a party that brought independence, that should be the party to build the country? Who said that? SPLM party brought Sudan, yes, we accept and we appreciate and we celebrate it, but you have failed to build the nation. So hand over the country back to us South Sudanese and we'll be able to build our country. A country whereby humanitarians are the ones who are caring for children, who are caring for women, who are bringing medicines and bringing fees. What is your duty? What is your work? What can show that you are a government, that you are a party? You are coming out telling us that you will be able to... No! You cannot lie to us that you want 10 years and you'll be able to build South Sudan. You build South Sudan to where? You had 20 years. What have you done? You have destroyed the whole South Sudan from all corners. Women are dying in the rivers because of water. South Sudan have turned to become swamp. But here every day you wake up in the morning, you just decide and you appoint anybody that you feel like appointing, destroying the country resources. To South Sudanese, I'm here to remind you, time is going and we all want to enjoy this country called South Sudan. We all want to build it. We all want to be proud of it. We all want to appreciate, walk in the lands, live from Juba to the villages without stress. This is the country we all dream for. And this is the country we are still fighting for. But we have accepted and we decided to sit down as if I don't know. What are you waiting for? What are we waiting for? No. The SPLM party have failed us. The only thing they know is nepotism, corruption, killing innocent children with bombardments, attacks every corner. This is the work they have done for the past 20 years. And it's early, we start early and we start calling them to give back South Sudan to us. Give South Sudan back to us. Because South Sudan is our country. You will all die and leave South Sudan. Same to us. But we have to be proud of that country. We want to enjoy. Look at every part of the world. South Sudanese are becoming refugees. Go to neighboring Uganda. How many refugees belonging to South Sudan, citizens, are in Uganda? And instead of you looking for food to give them, you are sending money to Uganda so that you can buy helicopters to come and kill the little that have remained in South Sudan. You want to chase them again out so that they can go to Uganda. What kind of party is thinking like this? What kind of leaders are thinking like this? You already have refugees in Uganda who are South Sudanese, which are supposed to be your responsibility in South Sudan. Instead of you looking for money to add to the UN in Uganda and give them food, you send money to Uganda to buy weapons, to buy helicopters, to buy machineries, so that you can come and kill the remainings in South Sudan. And South Sudanese are still saying, SPLA Oye? SPLA Oye is what? It should be SPLA is killing us. This Oye need to change to something different. Because this Oye have destroyed. This Oye have killed. We don't want to continue dying, to continue being a shame in everywhere. South Sudan now is in the map as the poorest country, as the country with nepotism, as the country of all these things. I'm here to remind you again that you, the citizen of South Sudan, this 64 tribe, don't look at yourself like a Dinka, Nuer, Equatoria, or Shiluk. We are all in this. We are all suffering. We need South Sudan to go forward. We need to build South Sudan. We need to be proud of this country. Time is going and the world is changing. Technologies, it's a world of things are happening. Until when are we going to accept one tribe being appointed all the time? Look at what happened yesterday. Look at what happened the other day. Every single day, Salva Kiir is coming out and appointing only his Dinkas tribe. This is what is happening. And the Dinkas are not saying anything. The Dinka community are not coming out and condemning this. They are not coming out and are telling Salva not to do these things. And when tomorrow we say the government belongs to the Dinka people, then they say the government doesn't belong to them. How many Dinka people have come out and condemned what Salva Kiir is doing? Of appointing only one tribe. He's the one that is making the Dinka community to be hated by the other 63 tribes. Because you are not even coming out and telling him what you are doing is not right. For your community. For your children. Because how can one tribe being appointed on and off? Is it that the other South Sudanese don't qualify to be in those positions? Or is it like you are packing off? Or what is happening? Is it like you are in the final touch that you want to go and you are not coming back again? Huh? We are tired of dying every single day. We are tired of this issue of decrees. Every single day you are coming in, you are removing people, giving them fame for 2 minutes and removing them again. South Sudan is not a family company. It's not a private company. It's a country. It's a country that deserve to be led, justice, laws, and everything to be in it. Not whereby everything is just a symbol. Something is just being put there, nothing on. Like this parliament. How many? We have 550 MPs. What is the work of these 550 MPs? If they cannot be able to vet the people that are being appointed, if they cannot be able to go through the challenges that are happening, if they cannot be able to stop the aerial bombardment that is happening in South Sudan to the citizens of South Sudan, if they cannot be able to represent the people of South Sudan, what is the work of this parliament? Yes, this parliament doesn't exist and it needs to cease. And I'm calling all the MPs, shame on you. Shame on you. All the MPs, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. You move around telling yourself that you are an MP, telling everybody that you are an MP. An appointment like this of the one of the yesterday is going on. People are being appointed without you vetting them. And you still call yourself an MP. MP where? Representing what? Representing water? Representing bombardment? In every country, the MPs represent the people. They are the mouth of the people. So, we don't deserve to say, or we don't even have to waste our time in saying there's a parliament. This parliament house needs to close down until we got real parliamentarians. Because we don't have. People are being appointed left and right, and you cannot say anything. Some even are being repeated. No. South Sudan is not a company. It's not a private company that belongs to one person. And to the other part who are in the SPLM IG, you are seeing all this drama going on and you could not say anything. You've made a lot of people to hate this red color because it's having the SPLM color. Making people traumatized when they're buying clothes. They don't want to buy red even if they love buying red. Because you have it. Because this is the worst color that have killed South Sudan. It doesn't mean that if SPLM brought South Sudan independent, that it will be the one to build South Sudan. The way I'm seeing, the party that will build South Sudan is not even yet formed. Not all these that are in now. I don't think it's not yet formed. The party that will build South Sudan is not yet formed. Because that party will be built by youth. That party will be a youth party because only the youth can be able to build South Sudan. Not people who are, I don't know, are 60 years plus. 60 years plus are retiring in the other countries. You should retire. Not giving us stress, destroying South Sudan. You wake up today, you dream of, oh, maybe today. Last night it's like I made a point, you decree out people, you remove. Some even you are removing them, putting them back, removing them, and you remove them again even before you swore them in. What kind of a country like that? South Sudan is not a private company. You have turned our country to become a nepotism country. That's the only identity everybody is talking about. South Sudan belongs to South Sudanese. And who are these South Sudanese? They are the 64 tribe of South Sudan. So to the MPs, there's no MPs anymore. So don't even move around telling yourself that or telling other people that you are MP representing South Sudan. Because you are not doing your job. You are not betting in leaders. Huh? You are not discussing the important problems that the country, the citizens are having. You are not even stopping, even condemning the bombardment that is happening in the country. When this all money was approved to buy weapons in Uganda, what did you do? Did you discuss it? And you still call yourself an MP? What a shame. South Sudan, we are not going to keep quiet and leave South Sudan to continue the way it is. South Sudan is our birthright. South Sudan is our country, and we continue. No, we refuse that one. We refuse that one. We should all wake up and start building our country, start fighting this government. What is this? How can our whole country be turned to nepotism? This nepotism is beyond. It is beyond. No. South Sudan will be good during our time. There's no another generation that will come and build South Sudan. No, it is us who will build South Sudan. And no matter what, yes, 2026 is going to be hot for South Sudan. 2026, we are not going to give you peace. Start from the 1st of January, 2026. We are not going to make you rest until if you do development. Where is the money of the oil? Where is the money of the oil? Where is the money come from the revenue? Where is the money? Where is South Sudan money? Every day we are hearing, yes, the oil is sold. Sold to who? Where is the money? You decide to joke with our money? You decide to joke with our country? South Sudan belongs to the citizen, not to politicians. No, it doesn't belong to politicians. It doesn't belong to parties. It belongs to the citizen of South Sudan. And to citizen of South Sudan, the earlier you wake up, the better for all of you. Yes. You see other people making noise. This is not noise making. This is fact that they deserve to see, they deserve to hear. If they want to lead us, we don't have a problem because we need nothing from them. Let them build South Sudan. Let them stop appointing one tribe in a country with 64 tribes. Everybody have accepted do in and out. It's like You have made South Sudan to be like toilet. South Sudan is a country that need to be respected with laws, with citizens who are very strong. So don't joke with us. You think we are afraid? I'm here to remind you, we are just like you, not if we are South Sudanese. If you forgot that we are South Sudanese, I'm here to remind you, we are South Sudanese. And you know who are South Sudanese. Let's reach 2026 and you continue joking. Yes. You make youth become, South Sudanese youth become useless on the street. They are not even useful to themselves. Every day you come, you make out some news like today. You already give somebody a driving license and then you are coming to tell people again that you are wearing the driving test. Driving test to what? You already gave them the driving license and then again you are coming looking for driving test. People are paying money for tinted glasses of the cars that you accept to be brought in from Niwili. Don't joke with us. We now know our right. You cannot lie to us again because of all this drama. South Sudanese, let's wake up and build our country. Let's wake up and take over our country. We should not. Have a good day.